Swifties illuminating the night sky over Allianz Parque Stadium in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Final stop of the Latin American leg of the Eras Tour and last 3 shows of 2023.
Sao Paulo,
In many ways, Sao Paulo marked a return to form for the Eras Tour after the tragedy and chaos of Rio. Taylor needed a reset, and she found it in Sao Paulo. Taylor's first time visiting Brazil's largest city, where fans were happy to help her turn the page. Brazil is the first country outside of the U.S. to get 2 stops on the Eras Tour, 2 different cities visited, and that's because it is the 9th largest music market in the world and the largest in South America. In a minute, you'll hear all 6 surprise songs, including a fan favorite from a movie soundtrack, if you want to guess that. And I was today years old when I discovered there's a remix to Long Live. It's in Portuguese. Did you guys know this? And the woman who sings the duet with Taylor in the original song showed up to one of the shows in Sao Paulo. Unclear if she was invited, and created what I think are some awkward moments. I'll let you decide as Taylor works to regain her footing here and end Brazil on a high note.
We're never getting back together.
Helping turn the page, I feel like extra adorable kids in Brazil waiting at the end of the runway there for the 22 hat.
Creating these adorable moments with Taylor. And really highlighting, I think, Taylor's ability to connect on an individual level in a stadium with 60,000 people. That's not easy. That's a skill for sure.
I am always amazed by how many fans in these countries know Old Taylor, Country Taylor. I want to show you the crowds here from 3 different vantage points. Listen as a chorus of Swifties echoes up into the night sky. And spills out onto the streets, where Swifties who couldn't get tickets gathered anyway. 3 stadium-sized concerts, and people are still spilling out in the streets. So I guess this should come as no surprise.
You guys just broke the all-time attendance record for this entire stadium.
Not just one night,
Just broke their record.
but all 3 nights, each night breaking the previous night's attendance record. Breaking our own records. This is sounding more like the Eras Tour we've come to know.
All-time attendance record for this stadium. Water right here.
A stark contrast from just a week before, where a record-breaking heat wave claimed the life of a young fan in Rio. 23-year-old Ana Clara Benevides died after waiting all day in the sweltering sun to be close to the stage. Seeing Taylor live was fulfilling a lifelong dream for the university student who took her first flight ever to get there. She made it to the second song, Cruel Summer, before collapsing. An autopsy has since revealed her cause of death to be cardiac arrest caused by heat exhaustion. It noted no pre-existing conditions and no drugs or alcohol in her system. She was one of more than 1,000 people needing medical attention night 1 in Rio. The high temperature that day of 106 degrees. Factoring in humidity, it felt like 139. Leading many to question why the outdoor concert was allowed to go on at all. The local government has faced criticism for not stepping in sooner and being more proactive about health and safety. Then there's Taylor. Why didn't she postpone right away when she knew how hot the forecast was going to be? Even after Ana Clara's death, second night, Saturday, she waited until 3 hours before to postpone that show. People had already started gathering. But most of the blame has fallen on concert organizer Time for Fun, currently being investigated for endangering the life and health of concertgoers. Among the allegations, that outside water was not allowed in the venue, and once inside, people were charged $2 a cup. Ventilation ducts had also reportedly been covered at the stadium to prevent people from seeing inside. It also prevented airflow from moving through. All of it taking a physical and emotional toll on Taylor, who decided to cancel plans to fly back to the U.S. for Thanksgiving, instead staying in Brazil and flying straight to Sao Paulo for some much-needed downtime midweek. Meantime, Taylor's team reached out to the family of Ana Clara Benevides, reportedly offering financial support and inviting them to Sao Paulo as Taylor's guests. They met Taylor backstage night 3 before the show, and then they watched Taylor perform, fulfilling what had been Ana Clara's lifelong dream. beautiful moment here during Marjorie. This is completely fan organized ahead of time on social media. Those are the colors of Brazil's flag lit up with cell phones. People put colored pieces of cellophane over the light of the cell phone. Isn't that so cool? I'm amazed by how many people actually did it. It looks like everybody.
Innovative, that is sophisticated, that is creative. I love you guys so much.
Taylor found her own way to mirror the flag imagery right back to Brazil in the dresses that she wore for the surprise songs. Night one kicked things off with the debut performance of Now That We Don't Talk, a vault track off 1989. And throwing it way back here, Innocent from Speak Now, the original song about Kanye West. Pleasant surprise here, night two, from the Hunger Games soundtrack, Safe and Sound. Listen to the audience here, I love this. Night two on piano, Untouchable from Fearless. You should notice a theme with the night three surprise songs. This is the final show of 2023. The live debut performance of Say Don't Go, a vault track off 1989. Alas, it's time to go from Evermore. Taylor did announce in Sao Paulo that all the surprise songs would be resetting in the new year, so they're all fair game again.
For 1 year, we've really gotten through a lot of songs.
I'm going to keep this list going because it'll be a really good indicator by the very end of the tour what songs Taylor hates, because she clearly had a lot of opportunity to perform them and chose not to.
It was the first place to really appreciate this song.
Fan favorite Long Live was dedicated by Taylor to her Brazilian fans. The remix of Long Live was a massive hit in Brazil. Did you know this? It was a top 5 hit, which is bigger than it ever was in the US. The remix version features a duet with Brazilian singer-songwriter Paula Fernandes, who wrote her own verses for the song and sings them in Portuguese. Look at Taylor's face here. She has no idea what she's saying. In fairness, I don't either, but she sounds really good. Well, Paula Fernandes showed up to the Eras Tour in Sao Paulo, and you can see her here interacting with fans before the show, even leading a sing-along at one point. People seemed excited to see her, which is great, but the whole thing struck me as a little odd because Taylor never had her on stage, never recognized her. Quite possible they don't even know each other, and it was just a savvy marketing move from the record companies to pair them together. But wouldn't you at least have her as your guest in the VIP tent? Unless there's bad blood between them. And in that case, then why is Paula Fernandes showing up? And was Taylor pissed that she was there? The whole thing strikes me as a bit odd. See what I'm saying? If any of you know anything about their history or relationship, please fill us all in the comment section. There's definitely more to it than we know. It was a stumble to the finish line here in Brazil for sure, but Sao Paulo was a complete 180 from Rio, proving true the old saying, the show must go on. By doing just that, Taylor was able to leave Brazil with her head held high. And that wraps up the Latin American leg of the Eras Tour. Let me know what you thought of this leg. It was certainly an eventful one. A lot of weather issues, and of course the tragedy we saw in Rio. I thought Argentina was incredible. The crowds there are going to be one of the more memorable stops on Taylor's tour. Next stop, Tokyo. Don't forget to like the video and share it if you like. Also, subscribe so you can follow along as we recap each country visited on the Eras Tour. See you in Tokyo.